What if you discovered that everything you knew about the world was about to end, and only you and your family would survive? This isn't science fiction. This is the story of Noah and the Great Flood, one of history's most profound tales of judgment, faith, and redemption. Picture the ancient world, around 2400 BC. Humanity has multiplied across the earth, but something has gone terribly wrong. Genesis 6:5 tells us that God saw the wickedness of humanity was great, and every intention of their hearts was only evil continually. Violence fills the earth. Corruption spreads like a plague. The divine image in humanity has become so distorted that God's heart is grieved. But in this moral darkness, one man stands apart. Noah walks with God in a world that has forgotten its creator. He's righteous, blameless in his generation, a beacon of faithfulness in an ocean of rebellion. When everyone else chooses their own path, Noah chooses God's way. Then comes the divine decree that changes everything. God speaks to Noah with words that must have shaken him to his core. "I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth." Genesis 6:13. But in the same breath comes mercy. "Make yourself an ark of gopher wood." Imagine Noah's neighbors watching as he begins building this massive vessel, 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. No ocean in sight, yet this man constructs a floating zoo. The ridicule must have been deafening. The doubt must have been crushing. Yet Noah obeys, driven by faith in God's word rather than human understanding. For decades, Noah labors on this impossible project. He gathers pitch to waterproof the vessel. He constructs rooms and compartments. He builds according to God's precise specifications, creating humanity's first survival shelter. His hammer strikes echo across a world that doesn't realize it's living on borrowed time. Then comes the parade nobody expected. Animals begin arriving from every corner of creation. Lions walk peacefully beside lambs. Birds of every feather flock together. Creeping things crawl toward safety. 2 of every kind, 7 pairs of the clean animals, all responding to a divine call that humans can't hear. Noah's family enters the ark. His wife, his 3 sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. 8 people total, carrying the genetic future of humanity in their bloodline. As they step inside, Genesis 7:16 records something chilling, "And the Lord shut him in." God himself seals the door. Then heaven opens. For 40 days and 40 nights, rain pounds the earth with supernatural intensity. But it's not just rain. The fountains of the great deep burst forth. Underground reservoirs explode upward. The very structure of the earth convulses as water covers everything. The flood doesn't discriminate. It swallows cities and villages, mountains and valleys. Every breath of life outside the ark perishes. The earth becomes a vast, silent ocean with only one vessel riding the waves, carrying the remnant of God's creation. For 150 days, water dominates the earth. Inside the ark, Noah tends to the greatest zoo in history. The smell, the noise, the responsibility must have been overwhelming. Yet this floating sanctuary preserves the genetic diversity that will repopulate the world. Finally, God remembers Noah. He sends wind to dry the waters. The ark comes to rest on Mount Ararat. Noah sends out a raven, then a dove, waiting for signs that the earth can sustain life again. When the dove returns with an olive leaf, hope fills the ark. After more than a year aboard their wooden world, Noah's family steps onto dry ground. Their first act isn't celebration but worship. Noah builds an altar and offers sacrifices, acknowledging that their survival came from God's grace, not their own goodness. God responds with a covenant that spans generations. He places a rainbow in the clouds, as a sign that never again will he destroy the earth by flood. This isn't just a weather phenomenon, it's a divine promise written in light across the sky. The Great Flood reveals both God's justice and His mercy. Sin has consequences, but God provides a way of escape for those who trust Him. Noah's story teaches us that faith often requires acting on God's word, even when circumstances seem impossible. Today, when moral corruption seems overwhelming and righteousness appears rare, Noah's example shines brightly. In a world heading toward judgment, God still seeks faithful people who will trust His word and walk in His ways. The question remains, when the storms of life come, will we be found faithful like Noah? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Then hit the notification bell so you won't forget any of the new weekly videos.